All right, Xpectation, moco is back in full this time, fully launched, and I wanted to meet up with you again because I haven't met up with you since we were in Finland together testing out this new version of moco. I wanted to test, have this conversation, see what you think so far. We can kind of shoot it around a little bit and see what's going on right now with moco. Are we happy? Are we looking for more? And what's what? So before we get into, all the details of your channel and all that stuff, which I'll leave at the end of the video, talk to me. I mean, we've been waiting months for this version of moco to come. The moco that we tested out, plus some additional things as well. What are your first initial quick impressions for people that don't know you and for people that maybe don't know what your impressions are?
I really like the game. I've spent a lot of hours since Neo Moco came out, especially in the beginning. I might have grinded it for 16, 17 hours. So yeah, I was actually the first to get to level 50 to complete all the passes, get to level 67. I found that like a very good level to stop grinding at. So yeah, I find the game really fun. I just feel like it needs a bit more for the long-term playing.
Yeah. So I just put a video out, well, about a week ago with my honest review, and then I did another one after playing for another week because your mind can change about things. And yeah, I feel the same. I think that moco is great. It has a lot of great elements to it, but it's lacking something to make it one of those forever Supercell games, the ones that are just going to be around for the next 10, 15 years that everyone's going to have such great feelings about. And it's strange for me though, because when I go into the portal and I see, okay, we have our 3 expeditions every day, 1 resets, how long does it take? 20, 30 minutes to finish everything from an expedition? They now have like another rotating expedition, which is a quick one or a PvP. I like that they added boss fight in. It just gives you another boss fight to do with friends. Elite contracts rotating every single week. And then the dojos, which I know you love dojos, man. It's just not my jam. I probably need to watch a couple of your guides on dojos because, well, I haven't 3-starred all of them. But I feel like this is a good start. And I don't want to say that I want more because the last thing I want is for the portal to be extremely overwhelming with so many things to do that even me as a player that plays every day or players that are brand new look at it and like, it's just overwhelming. There's just too much stuff to do. So my point here is, and I'm kind of jumping into it quick, I think that the grind elements that they give us, 1 new expedition rotating every day, a new activity every day, which today is Bell Quarter, another expedition, a new boss fight every day, and elite contracts every week. I think that's actually good. But what I mentioned in a previous video, and I'm curious on what you think, I know that some people agree and some very much don't, I think that we need a world boss. A world boss that has a spawn time. And now that we have this moco Marshall Columbia inside of the game, I'm kind of seeing how underneath our player profile, they have these banners. We have the final stretch banner that's going on, which is obviously until the end of the season. There's 13 days left. You have the new cosmetic set that just dropped, which is a small pass that even people can get things for free from it as well. I would love it if there was a world boss that once, maybe twice a day would spawn and everyone can dive into, fight this boss that drops us the most insane rewards where it's the point where like you want to step away from the dinner table because you don't want to miss this fight and the fight's a 5 to 10 minute fight, maybe even longer. So that was one of my first things, and that's the one that I mentioned that a lot of people really agreed with the most. What are your thoughts on that? Is that something that's silly? Is there a blocker that would keep Supercell from doing that? Just your impression.
I honestly love that idea. It reminds me of what Kairos said back in Helsinki, where this game needs more hype moments. And this would be one of the hype moments, because the situation we now have with cores are cool, but the core drop rates are so low. Sometimes you kill a mega charged chaos monster and you get nothing. You get XP. You don't get cores. There is people who get very lucky, who have all of their weapons fully maxed, and there's other people that do the exact same thing as those people did, but they might just have 3 or 4 max cores, which is kind of unfair. There's like a few people who are like very lucky, and then all the other players feel very unlucky. It starts to get frustrated, like, oh, I never get drops, I'm unlucky. So that element of the game needs some improvements, in my opinion. But yes, a big boss that drops cores, for example, would already be very nice. But I think we still need some extra layers than just cores to the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had a lot, right? Like we had, I honestly I don't even remember what they all are now, but you had like the rings and all the other different things. Where when you would go to your build, your wardrobe, you'd have your build set up. I'll speak for myself. I used the same stuff on most of my builds, and when I did make a good build, it just remained the same. Like I never would mess with anything else because I had the best build set, and that was it. There wasn't like in other action RPGs, you get new pieces of gear that change what pieces would be more effective, so you're always changing builds. It wasn't like that. I'll be honest, I don't miss those things. I felt like they were a bit, there was a bit much. But I agree with you with the cores. Like I like the whole you're grinding for something to make yourself more powerful. And they don't really want to make power a grind inside of the game. So their answer were these cores. I don't hate them. Let me be honest. I like how you could upgrade them. I like the whole concept behind them. So you can't take a core out of something unless if you're replacing with a higher level core, which I know a lot of people complain about. But I think the reason for that is Supercell doesn't want people to just stop grinding cores, because once you get a max of every core, you could just kind of move them around between all your weapons. Like right now I only have one max core and it's in my Techno Fists. They want me to have to grind more of those so that you're still grinding for something, because it's an action RPG at the end of the day, and there's always going to be some kind of a grind that needs to happen. And what we're looking for is not artificial grind, but meaningful grind. So I think that cores are important. Who knows if there's going to be things added to it. We know Supercell, man, and like if you just look at Clash Royale or Brawl Stars, for example, the amount of changes that come to those games as the years go on, it's not even the same game that it was years ago. So
do you feel like we should be able to swap the cores out on the weapons ourselves? Because now they're all predetermined, all 3 cores are locked, and you can just equip the core that the game gives you. Do you feel like we should be able to choose that ourselves, or at least one of the 3 or something, or like have 2 options each or something like that? A bit more personalization in the cores, or do you think it's going to ruin the balancing?
Good question. So if you're watching this and you don't understand what he's asking, all of the weapons come with 3 particular cores that you could put in. 3 specific types that they want you to use for the build. So I'm looking at the Venom Bow. It's going to give you crit damage, it's going to give you attack speed, and it's going to give you maximum health. I can't swap that out with anything else. Like I can't put cooldown in there, or healing received, or dodge. Do I think it would be good? I don't see a problem giving us some type of a customization, and if that's the way that would work, that would be fine. That would actually satisfy some people's need to customize, at least a little bit. Because right now, let's be honest, dude, there's no customization. Your customization is choosing a weapon, which is essentially choosing what class you're going to play. Right? You're not even choosing a weapon. You're choosing an entire play style because you're so regimented into that play style. I think actually that's a good idea. It's not one that I thought of, but being able to choose the 3 cores that go into a weapon, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't love it. I would probably, again, choose what would happen is most people are going to probably go in with the crit damage, the attack speed, and probably the cooldown, right? Like those are probably 3 of the strongest ones. So they may not want to do that because they don't want to make the other cores irrelevant. And maybe certain cores are used for certain weapons because that weapon would need, maybe need the extra dodge chance because maybe you're more up close and personal. I don't hate the idea of it though. Do you think a lot of people would be happy with that change because it does give them a little power in their hands?
Oh, for sure. And even if it's not all 3 of them, even if it's, for example, or like they can say 1 slot must be a defensive one and 1 slot must be offensive. And then the middle one is like free. So you can basically choose, do I want 2 offense and 1 defense, or 1 offense and 2 defense? So it's more of like, you get to choose what you want. It, of course, has to be balanced, but let's be real. There is now 7 weapons, but if you check in the rifts what all the sweats are playing, most of them are 3 Techno Fists. Sometimes 2 Techno Fists and a Venom Bow.
Yep.
Sometimes Zapsicle, but you don't really have that much choice. You have the choice, but if you want to really grind and speedrun rifts, then you're gonna go for Technofist or Vibo. So
Yeah.
in that situation, you don't really have the choice, in my opinion. And I think maybe if they made the bosses have some type of elements, or like every day there is like a different debuff, or like every rift has a debuff, this weapon performs worse, this weapon performs better, then more people will try other weapons out to see if it actually will perform good in that mode.
Yeah. No, I like that. And I'm thinking back to when we were over there at Supercell HQ, we were talking to Joao and the team, and something that he mentioned to me that, or to all of us, that I thought was really cool was they could make they built moco to be modified. So like I remember with Clash of Clans back in the day when I was covering that regularly, it was like the game was so regimented because of the coding of the game. It was so hard for them to change. But they literally built moco from scratch so that they can make modifications at any time that they want to. If they want to make chickens gigantic and attack you, they can do that like at the click of a button. So that's personally part of the reason why I like having these conversations, because then this video will go out, the community can discuss it, and we can see if it's something that's legit and Supercell can know. I think it's very easy. If they want to throw a debuff in, if they want to say you can only use X weapons inside of this rift, you know, they can make any of those changes anytime. And something else that he said was, you know, we have a small number of maps and activities here inside of the game. I believe they have hundreds of these things queued up. Like they could go away on vacation for 6 months and have everything just queue through the game. Not that they go on vacation that long, but they could just queue everything up and we could just have new content all the time. I also am on a you and I are very different on how we play. I know you are very I think when we were hanging out, you must have said leaderboards 100 times a day, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't care about the leaderboards. I just want the stars for the rewards. You know, like I just want to grind up my rewards for the day. So it's actually cool to talk to you because we're very different types of players. I'm pretty easy to please. All I want moco to have is something that makes me have my phone in my hand, and when I'm thinking about what I'm gonna play, that's the one I want to play because I have to go in and do another match or another round of something or another something. Right now, it's not that kind of game. Clash Royale is the one that I go to right now. When I have 5 minutes, I usually jump into Clash Royale because I could do one more round, right? 3-minute round. But moco, it's like, okay, I'm going to sit down for 20 minutes and I'm going to grind out my expedition. Like, I haven't even grinded out my my elite contracts yet because I'm going to probably sit down, take a half hour with a couple of buddies from the group, and we'll bang it out, and probably in one shot on each of them, which is cool. And I like that we have all of that. But I think there needs to be something more. I think the boss fight that I talked about is not that thing because that's scheduled. That's like, okay, I'm literally gonna put in my Google Calendar that this activity is happening. I'm not gonna miss it because it's gonna progress my account. Like I'm talking about a world boss that'll take you from one level, like a full level up. Something that it'll save you a half an hour worth of gameplay. Like something really cool like that. I'm gonna say something I don't think you're gonna agree with, but that's part of the cool thing having these conversations. I think what we need is, I'm not even gonna be picky, one PvP mode that is consistent in the game, but one PvP mode that is just freaking awesome, man. That's just so fun that it brings you back. It's hard to do the whole, I'm gonna get you addicted to the game with a lot of PvE stuff. Like Clash of Clans has PvP, Brawl Stars has PvP, Clash Royale, and I understand that they're all different genres. Brawl Stars, I guess, would be the most similar if we're talking PvP, but when I play Clash Royale, I play one game mode and one game mode only, and I've been playing it for freaking 10 years because it's just got that addictability. I think we need something like that in moco. I don't think any of the PvP we've seen yet is that PvP. Rewards need to be heavy, there needs to be a trophy road and all of that. But all this other stuff that the game offers, that's how you grind up your character. That's how you grind your levels, you unlock your weapons, you get your cool cosmetics, you get your cores, and then let's say you take 30 minutes a day doing your grind, then you could, hang out and you could do your PvP. Then you could just log in and bang out your PvP stuff. And I think that is the key, but the struggle was they kept rotating PvP things in and all of them were okay. Some of them were bad. Most of them were okay. And I think that's going to be, in my opinion, the longevity of the game. Because as of right now, and I'm doing a lot of talking. I want to let you chime in. As of right now,
It's okay.
I feel like people dive into moco, and it's overwhelmingly fun, especially when the day starts and you have all the contracts that you can do, and everyone's on. You're running in a mob, and things are exploding. It's got this great feeling. But once that's over, when your contracts are done, when you're running around when there's not as many people, it's a lot less fun. And that's when people will start to like nod off on their phone while they're playing and things like that we've been hearing reports of. So I want to know how you feel about PvP, and I want to just let you take the mic for a minute so I can take a drink.
Okay. I actually love playing PvP, so I really hope there will be some PvP modes in the future. Just not the ones we have. I would like to see some type of MOBA or Battle Royale or like Last Man Standings, this type of PvP. Yeah, but they need to rebalance PvP because the shield, the lava shield is way too strong. Heals are way too strong. Vibe Shifter is actually decent there, or like just Technofist heals. So that's something they have to look into for sure. And the leaderboards we have now, even though we call them seasonal meaningful leaderboards, they're not that meaningful. And I'm gonna yap a little bit about it. Because I am the guys, like you said, I live and breathe leaderboards. So the first week I grinded the leaderboards. I was top 10, top 15 after the first week, even though I didn't have my course max. So that was already something I was a little bit frustrated about. I grinded so many dojos and I just could not get my mega charge crit and damage course. So that really handicapped me a little bit. And then, okay, I was 300 points behind. No worries. End of this week, I am 1,600 to 1,700 points behind. And I kind of lost my motivation to push the leaderboards. There was last week's bug fight, it was called the score hunt mode. The problem with the mode was normally you have it capped around 2,500 points, which you can get. But that one had bells, mega bells, which kept spawning bosses or RNG basically. So if you were lucky, that would spawn bosses, you would get more points. A ladybug is 125 points. It's like 6.5 seconds of speedrunning in another rift, so it's a lot of points. So there were teams who got 3.5 to 4,000 points just with that rift. I only got 3k, so I lost 1,000 points compared to the top teams. And yeah, my season is basically over. There's no way I can ever catch up to them. Just because they probably grinded also for a very, very long time, me included. I'm not saying the top players are bad. All the top players are good players, you know. The only problem we have now with leaderboard is one, the bug fight really skewing the data, but two, also the crit course. It's really consisting of whoever gets the most crits and then has luck that the boss is not having like worse RNG. It's doing the patterns you want them to do. And then you hope your team, just when all of that happens, you hope your team doesn't choke and doesn't die. If all these three things happen, you're on the top of the leaderboard with a good time. But yeah, that basically means whoever gets more time to play has like a way more chance to be on top of the leaderboard. And that's a bit the problem in the leaderboard. I feel like as a content creator especially, I feel like I either have to grind the leaderboard and really play all day to get the crits, or make content. I can't do both.
Yeah.
And knowing myself, I can't do it halfway. I can't be, I'm going to do a bit of grinding and then content. No, I'm really 100% in or I'm out. And now the daily ones also have elite merch, elite merits. So they're also speedrunnable. I'm not sure if this is what they wanted, because last week it was not like this. Maybe it's a mistake. But if this stays in the game, that means you have to play every single day. Every rift you have to grind. And yeah, every rift is basically the same, where you have 3 Technofists with crits. And if you don't have the crits or you don't have the time, then, well, good luck. So I kind of gave up, which is weird to say because I'm really into leaderboards. But I've just decided to just dojo farm course and just do that for 2 weeks. So I have all the mega charge course. So next season, when there's new weapons, I can just instantly equip the mega charge course and I'll be set for the next season. Because this one is a little bit ruined for me, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. So you're saying that leaderboard positions are determined so early that you're maybe not even halfway through the season when you realize there's no way of me getting there, so my motivation to grind for that is basically gone. And for someone like you to say you're done grinding this leaderboard, like that's probably literally everyone because you're the biggest leaderboard guy out there.
Yeah, and it's also my team. Like in the first week, we would stay late, 7, 8 a.m. or until reset to just really grind all our time in the leaderboards. And this week, the last day, my team was so burned out from playing that bug fight mode. They were like, guys, I'm sorry, I'm tired. I'm gonna go sleep. I can't play one more game of bug fight. I'm off. So we all went to sleep early. We didn't even grind anymore. I was like, okay, I guess we're just gonna be casual now for this season.
Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with casual, bro. Just saying.
No, that's okay. Everyone has
know.
their play style, but just for me, I'm really a leaderboard guy. That's my incentive to keep playing the game, to keep logging in, and that's really a little bit taken away now. So I have to figure out how I'm gonna go with it from now on. You know?
No, I get it. I mean, there's a lot of adjustment that we have to get used to, and again, everything can be modified, and I know that the team wants it to work, so modifications will be made, but who knows? I have no idea if that issue will be fixed. There's actually, and I don't want to get into these just yet, there's a lot of small tweaks and changes that they've made to the game, which I think are great. We'll get into those in a few, but how do you feel about the weapons being limited to the weapons that we have? I mean, we went from a month ago having everything to now we have 7 weapons. How do you feel? Are you missing them? Where are you at there?
I miss Squid Blades, Sparky, Bloodsucker, and maybe Singularity if they tweak it a little bit so we can aim ourselves. If these 4 weapons are the ones I miss the most, and I really hope they come soon. I feel like, we got 7 weapons now, and Zepsicle and Headbanger are really fun. The problem a little bit is that Technofist is so dominant, it can do everything, that you're not really playing the others so much.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm kind of at right now.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I really like the Venom Bow as well. I think it's a lot of fun, especially in PvE. Or, I mean, I guess everything's PvE for the most part, but I really do enjoy when there's large amounts of enemies, and the Venom Bow is just solid. I would only play Technofists on the old game. Like, it was the same thing with builds. Like, you play your favorite weapon, and that's it.
Yeah.
When you think of games that are very strategy focused, that require like objective based games, they force you to use different classes so that those different classes can work together to complete objectives. I'm wondering if at any point in time they get into something more like that. So it's going to I know they already have it, like some modes that are going to require a lava shield because you need someone to tank. I'm wondering if they're going to get more into that type of stuff to force diversity of weapons and what's being used. I don't know.
That's what I miss, basically, because now it's just Technofist, and especially when they deleted the run-up, it's just a boss. So you boost each other with blue mode to the boss, and then you just keep alternating your red modes, and you keep alternating the dodge, and that's how you clear basically every rift. And it's getting a bit stale, even for the top leaderboard players, especially because of the crits on top of that as well. I kind of want more. I don't know what it is that we're missing. I guess I just miss the diversity, having to really think, what can be working, like what's niche. Maybe Zepsicle works here or something. But yeah, it's all the same a little bit. Yeah. And in my opinion, the dojos and the rifts we have now, they're just too easy to complete. I don't know if you think the same. Like, if I see dojos, I think Zepsicle, Intermediate, and Expert, and Headbanger, Intermediate, these 3 were good dojos. They were hard, and also as a creator, you make a video about it, you know it gets views. The other ones were so easy. I think I can put my hand in the air, play with one hand, and I can still beat one of the other dojos. Maybe I should do it on stream to show it's actually not that hard to beat the dojos, and I think it's a problem, at least for me. I like a challenge. I played everything without any cores equipped, and I had no problem. Besides these 3 dojos, maybe I had to play them a couple of times, but all the others, it was just a breeze. And I find it kind of sad. I really like a challenge. I want it to be harder.
I don't feel the same there. So for me, I'm literally on my screen of my dojos showing like 1 out of 3, as you're saying. They're so easy. The thing is, I unlocked the weapon. I did a dojo. I don't really enjoy them, right? Like, that's not the most fun for me. I'll go in and do it so that I could progress and get the rewards, but I'm not a dojo guy. It's just not something that I enjoy. So I'll just always kind of flock to going in the open world or doing the expeditions, or even a boss fight, because I think it's fun to do that with other players. I also don't put out those videos on how to do those. I noticed that on day one you had quite a few like weapon guides and things,
all of them.
which is great because everyone needs that kind of guidance. What I do like, a small change that they made, is that we're now able to get on some teams straight from the rifts and stuff. That you could just literally click right there and join teams that are waiting. I like that you can swap your weapons out right from that. Remember how we used to have to go back into the apartment? It was so clunky. I
still do that. I still do that because I keep forgetting we have that button, and I'm like, oh yeah, we have this button now. It's actually so good, but I've been doing it for so long that I automatically just tap out, go to the weapon shop, and then go back.
It's like muscle memory, right? This is, I mean, this sounds dumb, but it is such a great change because we're able to come in here and like look at our roster of what we want to use, and you don't have to jump around all over the place. I also like that you could change your style here if you want to, although I only use one style. I think that they're actually frustrating to change. We can get into that in a minute. But as far as like UI and crashes happening less, remember when you would get a big party and a big lobby and the game would just like melt? It was not able to hold it all. It wasn't able to handle it. So a lot of things that we don't see are changed for the good. People that are playing Moco for the first time never will know that these options were never here, and that you would have to go back to the lobby to do all that. That's so annoying. But we know because we were there since day one. As far as, being able to get those huge friend lobbies of, however many people would fit in there, that was cool. But it was too clunky and it didn't work so great.
I miss them though.
I miss those too.
As a streamer, you want a dead ball and you have a lobby from 8 to 15 people. Yeah. You get it full, you press enter, everyone is ready up, you press go, and then you see, oh, there's only 2 or 3 people actually in my world. All the others got like cramped into other worlds. So even when you have this function of the lobby, it's not really working properly. They should make a function where you could just have like a checkbox, I want to make a new world with only bots, and then everyone in the lobby can join. And maybe make the lobbies bigger again. I like the 25 to 30 people. I think 15 is very small.
I love it. I mean, first of all, we're in a different boat as content creators, right? Like an average player, they can't make the game for content creators, although that does make for good content and promotion of their game at the same time. But I used to love a huge lobby. The problem was it would always crash the game because it couldn't handle all the accounts on the same thing. But you're right. That's how you would get your death ball. Now it's not as easy to get everyone to get in there. If they could get that feature back and to run smooth, yeah, 100%. But if it's gonna ruin the integrity of the game because phones can't handle it, I get it. Something that I don't like is inside of the wardrobe when you want to change style, right? I just made an extra style thing that I don't want. I gotta delete them now because I don't like. Oh, come on. There we go. Got rid of them. I'm like OCD about not having extra clutter. Having different styles is great, but having to change the emotes for each of your styles individually is so annoying.
Yes, I totally agree. I 100% agree. That's why I don't make new styles, because I also have to do all my emotes again. Yeah. I completely agree.
Okay, so simple fix. Have a toggle that the emote wheel can remain the same amongst all styles, and then I'll have different styles. But if I have to really redo them all, it's just because the emotes, you want to redo it. There's just so many things to go through. The longer you play, you get so many of them, and it's just. And then you want to start. Oh, I got a new emote. I got to change it on all my wheels. So being able to, they're gonna fix that. I know that they are, because it's just
these are small changes they can make over time. It's not a big deal, but it's like quality of life, It's the same with the wheel. On phone, it's perfect, but on iPad, you have to go all the way to the middle of your screen. It's so far. It should be on the side,
Yeah.
I have a hard time to emote, so I don't emote as much anymore, just because it's so inconvenient on a tablet to get there.
Speaking of emoting, do you find, this was another thing that I didn't mention in any of my other videos, I have a hard time emoting while moving, not because I can't do it, but because they don't pop up while I'm moving. I have to stop for a second. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, I think I have the same. I
Yeah.
don't emote enough to actually know, but I really think that I'm also standing still while doing it. And I'm not sure if it's because I don't know, I'm just not used to it, or if I just can't on the iPad. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So I play on both the phone and the iPad. I could emote on both, but if my character's moving, like really moving, the emote won't work. So I have to like
Hmm.
either be stuttering how I'm moving or stop, and then it works fine. So I would love it because, especially if you're streaming it or something, like if you get a nice death ball going, you want to throw some hearts up or whatever it is you want to throw up, or if you want to throw commands out of let's go here, whatnot, because they actually have the cool text ones now. It would be great if we could do that while moving, so it wasn't clunky. You don't have to stop. Another thing is, I hate when I heal and I get knocked off my ride. Was that always like that? Like even back in the day?
Yeah, it's always been like this. Yeah, any
I
action basically gets you off your ride. The only difference now is you go on your ride quicker than before.
I know that I didn't remember it being like that from before, but I feel like any healing, just healing, you should be able to do it while riding. Obviously, if you do any attack or anything like that, you're gonna pop off your ride. But the healing, man, I feel like sometimes you just got to stop and heal before you jump on your ride. And I guess it's different for every single weapon that you use because of the different skills. But all right, those are just a couple of the little small annoying things. What do you think of the cosmetics and how they're doing cosmetic passes and things like that? We got the
I
Moco
actually
Marshall Columbia today with that whole what is that, praying
I
mantis?
I like that. I like the weapon passes. I think we grinded them a little bit too fast. I had them all in one day, so I don't think that was the intention from them.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do like that we're grinding passes for weapons now. It's actually a great feature.
Yeah.
I also like the new skins just from Neo Moco, like the gacha skins. They were very cool as well. I collect a lot of skins. I don't always use them. I'm loyal to like the Pizza Head Squad,
I
so
hate
Pizza Head
that
Squad.
one. I
Cheers to
know.
you. But yeah, I'm always wearing that one. But I do collect them, and maybe I'll do a stream like a fashion stream where it's just like
Oh
setting up
God.
styles for different weapons or something. I think that will be cool.
Yeah, I actually really liked how they did the passes as well. So obviously, for those that don't know, there's a pass for every weapon as you're unlocking it when you're choosing what weapons you're unlocking next, and you can get the premium pass, which has a price tag, which is strange because they're all different in price, and it unlocks some of the cosmetics, some of the additional cosmetics from it. So no pay to win at all. It's just if you want to get the pass, it doesn't get you the weapon quicker. It just gets you certain looks for it. I thought they did it really good, and the Techno Fists looked awesome. I like the weapon skin for the Techno Fist. What do you think of the perks and how they have the small amount of gotcha? I know it took you a while, as it did me,
Yeah.
to get the poison bow or the venom bow.
Yeah, it took me up to level 64 to actually unlock the final weapon, the Venom Bow for me. I think that was a little bit too much. It should have been stretched a little bit less. I'm just thinking ahead in like future seasons. Imagine you're a new player and you have 30 weapons in that gacha and you have to spin them 7 or 8 times to get one weapon. It's gonna take you a long time to get them all, you know? I don't think it's fair if someone has the Venom Bow at level 20, someone else has them at 64, because it's a lot of XP difference. It should be a bit tighter, the pity system, in my opinion, especially because leaderboards are now like weekly. So in the first week, if you didn't have Venom Bow, you had a really hard time to be on a top leaderboard. So you really had to grind your weapon and the course to be on there. So in
I
that
get it.
regard, I don't mind the gacha, especially for the newer weapons. If you're like newer player and it goes the weapons you don't get go in the gacha, that's good. Yeah, I was just not a fan of how long it took to get the second one.
Yeah, I got mine at level 62, so it took me quite a while also. And all I wanted was the Venom Bow for a long time. But for the system itself, I like how they added it. I like that there's a little bit of gotcha in there. I mean, when I think about a bunch of the other games that they have for Supercell, like it's fun to open up chests. It's fun to get rewards and stuff like that. So this is a way of doing it. I like it. I'm on the fence. I completely get your leaderboard push point. If you don't have the weapon needed, if you don't have the
Yeah.
dominant weapon, then you're kind of out of luck. I didn't mind waiting until 62. It gave me something to want, and it made me want to get these perks. Now I don't care about the perks. Like, it's not something I look forward to on the pass. So
Yeah, there's nothing in there anymore.
yeah, it's
You have the
nothing in
weapons.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question actually for you because
Yeah.
I know you play Diablo and stuff.
Yeah.
So at the end of the season, most likely our level will go back to 1, and the levels we have in this season will go towards the career level. I think. So how do you feel about levels getting reset again? Because our badge will just show level 1 again, unless they are not resetting it, of course. But how
Okay.
would you feel if they reset it?
I could dive deep into this one, okay? So, Diablo Immortal does not reset levels really, like Diablo 3 or Diablo 4. Diablo 3, 4, new season, you basically are starting a whole new character. That said, your level means power in those games. So, if you're a high level, you have good gear, you are more powerful than someone that's starting out. In moco, I'm typically the guy that likes to see my number just grow. Things are just getting better. It shows my, how elite I am inside of whatever game, and it's just like a badge of honor. I don't know if what you're saying is what's going to happen. Maybe it is. I actually didn't think about what's going to happen at the end of the season. I'm on the fence, and the reason is if our career level is that badge of honor showing how long you've actually been playing. Like, that shows you your true level. And we're getting reset, but getting reset doesn't do anything besides put a different number on your badge because there's no power creep. All the weapons, they're going to remain unlocked, right? Like, they're not taking these 7 weapons away, right? Or 6.
No,
right.
I hope so.
Yeah, that would suck. Yeah, so as long as they don't, no, they can't. They can't take weapons away if we're buying cosmetics for the weapons, because that would be bad. So that's not happening.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would we losing? What are we losing? Just a number on our account?
Yeah, but that number means so much. It shows people like, oh, we played for so long. Even though it's tied to the color of your badge, so now the career level, they get add up, and instead of like a bronze one, next season we'll probably have the silver. The old collector level badges basically are now tied to the career level. So that's cool, but in a way, I don't know, like the numbers just resetting to 1, I think a lot of people don't like that idea of going back to 1, even if there's nothing tied to it. I think they should how do you say it? Unlink the weapon, the weapon passes from the leveling. They should just say a level in the weapon pass takes this amount of XP, rather than you have to level up 1 level in order to unlock the new. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, because you could unlock levels very quickly in the beginning. So I did Techno Fist first. I did it very quickly. They were unlocked because it went so quick. But now if I had to do Techno Fist, it could take me a week because it's so much.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I care. Obviously, I care about the weapon unlocks. It should be about XP or whatever progress earned progresses it. The thing is, they need to make that clear. Like, players need to it's very easy to say once you reach level 1, you unlock past slot 1. When you get to level 2, that's very in your face and hard to mess up. And if they do it based off of experience earned or cores earned or whatever, it's much harder to have a visual. If we don't lose anything at all, except for a number on the account, I don't think I care. Because I'm still going to have all my badges that are going to be showing my credentials. Our career level, when someone goes and checks out my profile, eventually that's going to say career level 1000 and change. But my level will be for the season. I don't think I care unless if they take stuff away. In Diablo, let's say Diablo 3 or Diablo 4, at the end of your season, your seasonal character turns into a forever character, and it's basically done. Like, it's dead. No one plays those characters anymore. So all your grind was lost. In moco, if they do a reset, nothing is lost except for the number, because it's kind of a meaningless number. So I actually don't care, but I can see how a lot of people would care. I don't care, though. Yeah, I don't think I care at all. Unless if we lose stuff, I would not want to lose things.
Because now also I'm just grinding for the level 76 patch, and then just for the career level to be higher than maybe other people that didn't grind as much. But there's no real incentive. Like I realized I grinded so much the first day. The second day I was level 67, and I was like, why am I even grinding my XP? Like, what am I doing this for? There is no real incentive to keep leveling my level. I'm just better off going in a dojo and farming cores, because I'll need this cores for the leaderboard, but I don't need the level. Doesn't matter if I'm level 50 or level 100. There is
Right.
no difference in yes, I'm still struggling with that thing a little bit.
Your number over your head right now is just
Yeah,
your
a
bragging
number.
rights. It's just it just
Yeah.
says, oh, that guy's played long. It doesn't mean now. Okay, a lot of times people that play longer are going to be more experienced. They're going to be better. And when you get, if you're going in with randoms and you see people with numbers in the high 60s or 70s, you're like, okay, cool. This guy's put some time into the game. He's not going to suck. When you get a level 1, 2, or 3, which I don't think I've ever gotten, you get very brand new people. You're like, okay, they don't know what they're doing yet. So it's like a badge of honor, which could be reset every single season. The problem is going to be what happens when they do get to level, 100. Badges are going to get big. What happens when they get to level 1,000? Badges are going to get really big, and it could get clunky looking in the game. Or I guess they could just remove the numbers in the game, and I know that would be bad. I like the numbers over our heads. I wonder, I think they probably will reset the number, but make it our career level. And
Yeah, I think they carry over to there, and then the new season, these levels will get added to that career level again, and it will keep going up.
So my thought is, they're not taking anything from you but a number, but that number still remains. Your credibility remains in your career level, so you're not losing any clout. If they would have to rework how the pass system works to unlock weapons, even if it's just, even if it's just like, it's not easy. It's not easy to say when you gain this much power, you get this reward and this one, because it's not clear as day to see. But when you see what level you get to, it is a lot clearer to see. So I think it's easier for Supercell to say, we're just going to reset it every season. It goes to the career level. We keep the passes the way that the passes are. I mean, if I were on that team, that's what I'd probably do. I wouldn't rework a whole system so that a number over people's heads was not reset, especially because the power isn't. I know that a lot of people, that's going to be like a 50-50. People are going to care or people aren't. So I'm actually curious now to see how that goes.
Is there other things you're missing in Neo Moco right now?
That I miss from previous Moco?
No, just what you think, like besides like the PvP and like the guild boss mode, what are like small or big features that you feel like you're still missing in the game?
I mean, it's really strange, man, because I really like the gameplay. I think that it's fun. I like the some weapons I like and some I don't, right? But I'm not forced to play ones I don't. So I like the gameplay. The general gameplay loop I think is actually really fun. I think that let me go through all the stuff. Like the music inside of the game, bro. When that cosmetic came out for like, I'm a metalhead. I love rock and roll. I saw that cosmetic, I was blown away. Like that's where it was so good. Yeah, like like the art of it, really like it, and the music, I really like it. Like everything that you would think needs to be in place for me to say I love this game and this is the only game I want to play is there, except for even the social stuff is there. Yeah, it's gotten a lot better. But the addictability, it's hard for me because I can't place what needs to come, but I know how I need to feel to make this game. Because my concern is, I want to be a moco content creator. I want moco to be the game that I grind every single day. So I want the game to be successful. As of right now, if they change nothing, I think people are going to get bored, and the same thing that's going to happen last time is going to happen again. Which is strange because we're over in Supercell, we're trying to figure out what can we do, or what can the team do to fix that problem, because there was definitely in the past, moco was the bomb for the first week, and then it got stagnant. And it still kind of feels that way a little bit. And I don't think I know that Joao or someone from the team said, it wasn't meant for the weapons to be like, we unlocked the weapons so quick. Many players did. And it was supposed to last like the season, right? Like it was supposed to last the whole time. But I don't think just extending how long it takes to unlock stuff it doesn't solve that problem. Me going into the game now and grinding anything, getting less experience for the same activities doesn't make me feel better or want to go grind more. We need a game mode that's always in the game. I mean, I could even talk about Diablo Immortal. And surprisingly, I'm not big into PvP in Diablo Immortal. I like that for the grind of power and gear and dailies and all that. But they have a few PvP modes, but they started with one for a very long time that was available throughout certain periods of the day, and that was the PvP. You grind throughout the day to do your activity, to get your grind in your character, and then you take it and you go fight in PvP. Now, I don't think that the PvP in Diablo Immortal is excessively good. I'm not particularly addicted to it, but I know that many people are. So what I think they should do is take from what you know. Brawl Stars is one of the most popular games on mobile in the world. It may be the most popular. In my opinion, probably the two game modes that are the most popular are Showdown, our solo showdown, and duo showdown. Like when I play, that's all I really care about playing. Don't
love that.
Don't steal it. Like don't steal it, but like take the most popular thing from all the research you have from your other games and make a moco version of it. So, it could be solo showdown, duo showdown, and then like big team showdown. And that's it. Like literally for a year, that's all it has to be. And we'll grind our belts and make it worthwhile, make the rewards worthwhile. And I think you could even have tournaments around that. Like, I think that's enough. But it has to be fun. And we've had some of those modes, right? Where it kind of felt like a showdown from Brawl Stars, but it still wasn't great. So it's not like I think, okay, take that mode that you had in the past and put it in the game all the time and you solve the problem. I think they really need to develop a mode that is as good as solo and duo showdown from Brawl Stars inside of moco, to where some people, that may be what they log in and do. Like maybe they don't want to go run your dojos. Maybe they don't want to go run the rifts because they don't care about it. Maybe they just want to do the PvP because they're a competitive player against other players. I'm saying not a PvE type competitor.
Our PvP that we have in moco doesn't feel like PvP, and the reason, in my opinion, is you don't play PvP to kill other people or other players. You play PvP to collect points, and that's the problem. Normally, if you kill a player, you should get more points or you should get something because it's PvP. It's not PvE.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the PvP modes we have, it's all about just killing the big monster in the middle, getting all of these points, and killing a player gives like 3 points. It's nothing. So I think that's what's really wrong with the PvP mode for moco.
Yeah, no, I agree. You make a good point, because when you're in the world in a PvP mode, you're killing bosses, collecting as many of the little gold dots that come out, and then you kill an enemy, and it should really just be enemies are all that matter. I mean, I get why they have, NPCs inside of there, why they have monsters in there, because it is a monster hunting game, so it does kind of make sense. But it should just be straight up, just like back in the days of Halo, just solo showdown. Like you're just going in and taking down other players, and if you get a kill, you get a kill. That's a point, and whoever has the most kills at the end is the winner. I don't think it needs to be the dots that are dropping out of you and all that. It doesn't need to be complex to be good. It needs to be addicting. There's a few things that I've been addicted to in my life as far as gaming. Clash Royale has had me addicted. Halo 3, I was addicted to. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, I was addicted to. And all of it was because of a PvP, either team or solo type experience. Gears of War as well. I got to give my shout out to Gears of War. But I know that everyone's not a PvP person, so I know that everyone's not going to agree with what I'm saying here. I'm just saying I don't think moco with the PvE experience right now is going to be enough for the game to I don't think players that are playing today are going to be playing in 6 months, minus the small number of diehards that there are. Average players are going to stop, and that's what I'm concerned about. Now, I know that you have another small handful of little items that you wanted to address. So hit me with them, and I'm gonna see how I feel about them too.
Yeah. The one thing about PvP, real quick, I think bosses could still be in there. Maybe the bosses can just, if you kill them, make you stronger. A little bit of power progression in the PvP, so you can kill the players better. Maybe that can be a small thing. Other than that, I want to quickly tackle the Mocopedia and the Weapon Mastery. So we've had them in the dev builds. The Weapon Mastery was a cool concept. It was just not ready, in my opinion. So I'm really eager to see that return. So we have more incentive to keep playing, to like really rank up our weapons, get a golden shader. But also the Mocopedia, I really miss it. Even though the dev team feels like it wasn't really ready, I really enjoyed it. I was really grinding the worlds back then when we only had 3 missions in this world. I just kept playing them for hours just to grind this Mocopedia out. And I really believe if they add that into the game, it would already add some more depth and more incentive to keep playing the game. And I'm really hoping that we will see these features in the next season.
All right, so I agree with you on one of them. First of all, the Mocopedia, I don't care about. I just don't. In Diablo Immortal, we have something. It's called the Bestiary, which is all the lore and all that. I don't care about it at all, except for the rewards that you get from unlocking things in it. Again, these are my personal opinions. I could be in the minority if the lore, and I know Supercell fans really have a big heart for the lore of these games. So maybe it would be something that would be beneficial. For me, it wouldn't be something that mattered either way. The shaders brings me back to when I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare. You would be able to progress and unlock different cosmetics, essentially, for your weapon as you got through higher level achievements. I think that's great. It's another way to flaunt things. Now, those shaders, like a golden shader, is it going to be better than the cosmetics that we're unlocking or purchasing? Maybe not, but it's got meaning to it because it was earned. It wasn't bought. I would like to see that come back. It is something to grind for. That's another badge of honor. You see someone running around with a golden weapon, with a platinum weapon, with a diamond weapon, and you're like, okay, you know, that guy, he's legit because he put that he's a master of that weapon. And they could put high levels on these things like that. Like it may take you a year, I don't care, a long amount of time to reach these. Like, I'm not talking that you're going to get it, even though your Xpectation and all, you're not going to get it in 2 weeks. Like, this is something that should be a long time grind. I like that. So that would be cool. I don't think that that's enough to make the game suddenly survive and be awesome, but I think it's a nice feature that could be added for sure. What else you got?
Yeah, leaderboards more meaningful. Take the crits out the window. Do it crit every X amount of hits. Every 5 hits you crit, for example. Make it even for everyone. RNG, take them out of the rifts, out of the dojos, so everyone can speedrun fair. Give the leaderboards some rewards. Everyone could, for example, get a basic skin or a ride, and then the top 200, 150, 20, top 3, local or global, they can have upgrades to these skins. So they can equip or unequip things to just flaunt like, hey, look, I have the better skin, you know? Gives more incentive to play. Badges, pins, where it's just like Clash Royale. I was ranked 3 in season 1. It's just a badge, but it just means so much that you can show people like, yeah, look here, I was ranked 3. Or on Hall of Fame, the top 200 people, global or local, all like per season mapped in the leaderboards. So you can always go back and have proof like, look, I touched the least grass that season. Give me credit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I would really love that, to see that in the leaderboards. But of course, they need to fix the leaderboards first with the RNG and the bug fight situation and stuff.
As I mentioned before, I'm not a leaderboard guy, but I know that, especially with Moco, a lot of people care about the leaderboards. I mean, as of right now, like, that's your motivation to grind, right? Is to be on the leaderboards. I think that's such an like, fixing the leaderboards, maybe not as easy a fix. Giving rewards that are actually meaningful and that are awesome for the leaderboards, that should be easy. Like, they're a game built on cosmetics. Like, it's gotta be easy to have some really exclusive ones. What are your thoughts, and I ask this because I've seen it in other games, on temporary cosmetics for achievements? You received achievement, you this season got yourself to the top of the leaderboard, whatever that range is. You have 30 days of this cosmetic, and then it goes away and it's gone.
I honestly wouldn't mind it. I really wouldn't mind it. As long as there's something, it doesn't have to be permanent. But just so you can show people, it's the same with like a badge. For example, next to your name could be a badge. She was rank 1 that season or something. You can equip it some. Maybe it makes it a bit more clunky, but yeah, even if it's temporary, it's something at least. Now there's nothing. What are we grinding the leaderboards for? Like, why am I losing sleep? I don't know. I
Screenshots,
can't
bro.
answer that question. Yeah, screenshots. And then we have to go to Discord and look at my screenshot, boys. I was rank 1 in this season. I don't know. You can't even send them in game. You can't even show it in the game.
I
So
know.
you have to go outside of the game to flaunt, you know?
They do have something else I like is I like how they made our little home profile hub that we could add these stats, the metrics.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, it is dope. And I could see, like, I have member since 3/2025. I actually think that's awesome. Like, to show when that you were one of the first people, like, you know, I think that's one of the best stats. Doing something relating to your leaderboards and stuff like that that can be shared here would be an easy fix, but not enough. Like, you want to wear the crown. You were the king that season. You want to wear that around. That expectation is in the apartment, boys. We're all hanging out, and you know, I totally get that. I usually don't like seasonal cosmetics, but so in Diablo Immortal, you're when you become an immortal, which are like the top players in the game, or winning battles to be some of the top, you have armor that you get that you could wear as immortal. It's not even the nicest armor in the game by a mile, but I wear it because it was earned and it's a badge of earning it. And then when we're no longer immortal, it goes away, and I'm okay with that. So maybe something like that for the leaderboards or for any type of big achievements. Give it for the following season. You get to wear your cape and crown around and to show that you were awesome. And then if you want it again, you got to earn it again. That actually keeps, because if you earn the reward, you don't have to ever earn it again if they don't ever take it away. So that would be a way for them to have the big grinders have to grind every single season. I think that's a winning idea right there, man. I like that.
And that's also like, because everything is around cosmetics, just having it for a season, if you lose it afterwards, you still have this incentive of, okay, I have to get other skins because this one might go away after 30 days, you know, unless I can play enough and grind enough to collect it back. I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
I think so too. I think it's one of my better ones. Obviously they don't want to give you amazing cosmetics because part of them, let's be honest, in their mind is, if we give them these awesome cosmetics, they're not going to ever buy cosmetics, and they need to monetize the game somehow. And by the way, that's one of the best features about this game, that they have stayed true since the beginning of cosmetic only monetization. For me, that's huge because all the other games I play are so heavy pay to win. Here, I find I spend more money in Moco than in the other games because I refuse to buy in those games. But this one, it's like, how do I not get that cosmetic? It's awesome. Overall, I think Moco is great. I also feel that it does not have what it takes to be a 10-year game. So I think that with implementation of some of the things that we've talked about, I'm sure Supercell has a list of ideas themselves. Hopefully we start seeing some of those changes come. What's your final thought, I guess I could say?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I love the game. The gameplay is good. Like, the small tweaks are there. It just needs a bit more incentive after your dailies and stuff are done. If you don't care for leaderboard, there's nothing else. You just log off. We need something more after that, because the gameplay itself is amazing. Like, I love Moco. I'm still playing hours a day. It's not like I'm getting tired of Moco. Some people might find it repetitive, but I really don't. I really love it. I just need something more. I need either brag rights or some game mode that I can just dive into, like PvP modes. Yeah, surprises, you know.
How many times have you fallen asleep and dropped your phone in your face?
Only once, actually, where I was grinding dojos and then I fell on my face, and then I was like, oh yeah, I was playing dojos, and then 2 more times it happens. I was like, okay, I just have to put my iPad away, just go to sleep. But yeah, I really needed scores, man. I really needed scores.
It's happened to all of us, man. It happened to all of us. Dude, I miss you, man. It was great. So a little context on how Xpectation and I know about each other now that we're done with the video. I never met Xpectation until we went to. When did we go? What month was it? Was it November?
November, I believe.
November.
Yeah.
So November 2025, we went out to Supercell. Gaz, Kairos, myself, and Xpectation, and we were there to help make moco better. It was, first of all, amazing experience as always to be with the Supercell team because they are the best of teams in the business, and that's where Xpectation and I met. And it's nice to be able to get you back on here, man, and to talk a little bit about the game. The thing that I remember about Xpectation is always leaderboards. That's the man. He's known for the leaderboards. So if you want to know how to push leaderboards and to be the best in the leaderboards, he's probably the best guy in the business to get that information from. So you're going to want to check out his YouTube channel, which is Xpectation. I'll link it down below. He's got all the guides and all the things that I don't put out on my channel are over there on his. So make sure you go check him out. And if you like his stuff, or if you're looking for what's next, or like the hottest tips to make sure everything is maxed to the next level, go sub to his channel. But dude, thanks so much for coming through. Any last things that you want to say?
Thanks for having me. That's all I gotta say.
Of course, bro. Of course. Let's do it again. We should do like maybe a quarterly check-in on the status of moco. I think that'd be fun.
I would love that. Yeah,
all right.
That would be cool.
Let's do
all
it.
Right.
Thanks for coming,
See
dude.
you next one.
Take care, guys.